Christopher Schindler has a chance to write his name in Huddersfield Town legend. And he takes that chance!
Right, we're outside the Gas Club just after the game. Huddersfield Town 0, Cardiff 0. We're just seeing all the Cardiff buses go back. A lot of people look pretty miserable in them buses, but they probably thought they should have won the game. I'll come at you first, Ollie. Obviously, we were all thinking this is the game for us to kickstart our season, and didn't quite happen.
I nearly fell asleep, to be honest, mate. It was terrible. I think it's one of those games where like a refereeing decision can dictate how a game plays out, and obviously the red card for Hogg was, judge it whatever you want, whatever way you want, it killed the game. Unfortunately, at half-time I was very, very confident that we would find a way to break them down and find a way to win the game, but unfortunately it didn't happen that way, and obviously it went down to 10 men and we were hanging on towards the end, and people were talking about as if this was going to be the game that would get us 3 points on the board and we'd kickstart our season from here, but unfortunately it didn't happen that way, and I've walked out the ground thinking that's actually not a bad point, and we've got to go to Everton and we've got Palace after that, and it's all of a sudden it's it's a perilous situation to be in, but is what it is. There's no easy games in the Premier League.
Ash, when you saw the team sheet, it's on Ben Hamer just getting the jersey ahead of Lossell, that surprised you?
Yeah, it did a bit. I think Lossell, he's the non-starter. I think he'd be the better starter. Obviously, it's unfortunate Hamer got injured, but in a way, it's a bit of a positive that Lossell came on, because I think not just me, I think a lot of people want Lossell to start than Hamer. To be fair, he had a really good pre-season, but I think the pressure must have got to him because Chelsea, Man City, he was poor. I mean, like I said, I went to Austria. I saw Hamer. He was really good. He was fantastic. But I think after Chelsea and Man City, he was poor. He was awful. I generally think the pressure got to him.
Yeah, and it was strange how it ended up, because it looked like Lossell were ready to come on. He had his gloves on, then he sat down again, but then on came the substitution. I don't know about you, Jimmy, but I thought we started the game quite well without looking like we were going to rip Cardiff apart, and it just killed the game, that 6 minutes when both guys, one stretched it off and one carried off, and then after that it just developed into a game of Cardiff, come out as Huddersfield, shows what you've got, and we had very little, did we?
Yeah, it's always going to disrupt the game when there's an injury, particularly to a position that's so significant as the goalkeeper, and I know they were down for a good 7 or 8 minutes, so I'm not entirely sure why he only put 5 up on the stoppage time at the end of the first half. But I mean, regardless of that, you're immediately forced into a substitution that you don't expect to have to make. So you're down to 2 subs, which changes Wagner's thinking for the rest of the game, particularly when you've got about 80 to 85 minutes still to play. So you've got to be quite cautious about how you approach the rest of the game. But we certainly regressed into the same old style of switch it across the midfield to the wing and put it in the box for Mounier, who, when he's up against Morrison and Bamba, he's going to have a hard time winning many, if any, of those crosses, and it showed that we only had one shot on target. I think, ironically, was a Mounier header, but it was one shot on target at home against a team who will probably get relegated.
Disappointed. I don't know about you at half time, but I thought things couldn't kind of get any worse than that, really. I was looking for Huddersfield to come out, and they did, I thought, in the second half. I think in the first half there was only that Mounier header, which was, maybe he should have done better, maybe he shouldn't have done, but obviously let's get to the big moment. I don't think anyone saw it, to be honest with you. We were all watching Huddersfield on a rare attack, and I looked round, and I don't know about you, but I thought it was Zanka, and I can't remember who the other Cardiff guy was.
Well, it was Arthur who was down.
Yeah.
Arthur who went down.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of guys who watched it on some streams said, he had to go. Hogg put his head in, and
I think he did. Sort of.
Yeah, I don't know how you saw it, Ollie.
I just think it's one of those decisions that kind of, it massively influences a game. Obviously, the moment that it happened was absolutely huge because Town were trying to go forward and trying to, not that particular incident, but in general, we were trying to get forward and trying to win the game. And obviously, I've heard from people that Hogg did put his head in. So if that's the case, then, fair enough, he's going to serve the time for it. And, that's why it's cost us probably 2 points at the end of the day. it's probably cost us a win or the chance to get a win. But it's one of those decisions where you've got to realise as a referee that when you make that decision, it's probably going to influence the outcome of the game. And if he's sure that it was a red card, then fair play. I'd love to see it again. I haven't seen a replay of it, but if he's sure it's a red card, fair play. Then that's it.
I don't know about you, Jamie, but I honestly thought, because I was getting very bored, to be honest. I didn't see anything happening at all, and I thought that would be a good. I thought it might be a good thing perversely for us. I thought it might bring Cardiff onto us. It certainly did, and let's be honest. Wow, they should have, wrapped it up long before we had that amazing chance in the injury time.
Yeah, I mean, the big chance of the game was absolutely Morrison's header in front of the south stand, and I think he's about 6 yards out, if not closer. I thought it's straight in the back of the net, and I thought, if there was ever going to be a player on Cardiff's team to score, it was either going to be him or Danny Ward, and it would have been a bit of a kicker, because I don't think either team deserved to win or lose the match. I think a draw was a fair result, but yeah, they absolutely came onto us, and that was probably the only thing that was going to allow us to sort of come out of our shell and break out onto them. But at that point, when we're down to 10 men, we've already then at that point been forced into 2 substitutions. We've taken off one of the wingers, we've brought on Benzer. It's his first appearance for the club, and or at least I think it is, and I think it's probably damage limitation by that point. Try and get the point and just get something on the board for the rest of the season. But yeah, I was thinking that could have been a big changing point, and it was in terms of how Cardiff played, but not really in terms of how Town approached it.
No, it was frustrated. I mean, we saw Diakabe get his first start. We saw Benza come on, but I think, to be honest, actually we never really got involved in the game. Really, they might as well be sat with us, won't they?
That's it. Well, after the first 2 games, I thought, right, I think we've treated them as like a pre-season game, but I thought this game was like the one where we kick-start our season. I thought, right, we'll start our new signings and all that, but no. Our defence seems a lot better than our attack. I mean, obviously we've had a man sent off today, and to keep that point, yeah, fair play. But the attack seems like there's nothing there. There's nothing to supply our strikers. There's no goals involved. There's obviously defence-wise. Well, since Congola came in last season in January, how many less goals have we conceded?
Only conceded more than 2 once.
That's it.
Right.
And that was
But before that, how many did we concede before Congola? A hell of a lot. A hell of a lot.
Yeah, I thought Congolo, he was playing more like a wing back today, wasn't he? He was up and down the touchline. He was kind of diving in. So he's certainly all action and good to watch in that as well. I think, any positives? Did anyone stand out for you, Jamie?
Yeah, I thought the man of the match probably should have been Schindler, to be honest. I mean, he's always a supreme performer. I can't remember a time when he's had a bad game, sort of less than 7 out of 10, really. I would have given him the man of the match. I can see why they've given it to Congolo, because he's certainly been more involved in our attacking play as a little of it that we've had. But yeah, for me, Schindler would be the star man. The clean sheet's a bonus. It's nice for Lursel to come on and get the clean sheet, but you can only really point fingers at the attacking players for not really doing their job today. We've kept a clean sheet, we've kept Cardiff out even with 10 men, and that's why a defender's got man of the match. And you can't point your fingers at anyone other than your attacking players, really.
I agree.
Ollie, I think the shirt's up for grabs at Everton next Saturday, so I don't know about you, I'm going to Stoke on Tuesday night. I'm interested, yeah, but I'm interested to see, let's hope, Sobe, it sounds like he were going to be in, or at least be part of it. He got an injury yesterday, but to me, I think this shirt's up for grabs next week at Everton. What about you?
As in, like, starting winger?
Yeah, as in, obviously, for starters, Jonathan, that'll be 3 games, I'd have thought.
Absolutely, yeah. I think so. We will start. It's not necessarily about the result. Again, it's a League Cup game, and we're struggling for confidence in the league. There's a lot of players there who are low on confidence probably after today and after the first couple of games of the season, and we've got to go there and probably put a statement out, so to speak, and we've got to win comfortably or we've got to, at the very least, get through the tie, and that's the way it's going to be.
I'm convinced Danny Ward were going to come and score a winner. He looked absolutely lightning. He looked like, he looked totally different, Danny Ward. Premier League player. He was incredible. Jamie, I'll leave the last word with you. When you wake up tomorrow morning, maybe we're hangover, I don't know, but how will you kind of look back at the game kind of when the dust is settled? Will you look at it as a good point, or will you still have that feeling you've got now, maybe?
I mean, it's a point. We're off the bottom of the league, not that it really matters at this stage of the season, but I was gearing up all week thinking this is the chance for us to turn on the style, play against a newly promoted team, one who are going to be struggling at the bottom of the division, and really put out a statement of intent and pick up 3 points. We've not done that, and I think it will be a bit of a hangover for them for the next few weeks, because Everton's going to be a struggle. Stoke won't be easy away, you know, the old fabled saying away on a Tuesday night at Stoke. And then Palace at home, who beat us at our place last season. They're guaranteed to get a penalty. Zaha will score, so we're going to have to hit 3 past them to win it.
Yeah. Right, boys, we'll wrap it up here, but we'll probably do something from Stoke, obviously the main pod next week, but Huddersfield 0, Cardiff City 0.